Chapter 12. Ivy. It's the longest, most miserable, most silent ride home ever. I think of earlier this day when Boone kept his hand on my knee, as if he couldn't stand to have me near and not be touching me. Now, he keeps to his side of the truck, and his hand remains on the steering wheel instead of anywhere near my leg. And me, I don't know what to do to cross that invisible boundary between us. Well, okay, I know what I can do to cross it. Tell him what's going on, except I can't. And so it's awful and quiet and tense as we drive back. Boone drops me off at Three Jacks, and I pretend to go into the building to get my things. I wait until he drives away before going out to my little broken-down heap of a car, and my hands are shaking as I put the keys in the ignition. I'm crying silently, and it has nothing to do with my father or his parole, or even Winona. I feel like I'm losing Boone with my silence, and I didn't realize until today just how much I wanted him. Right now, everything just feels like such a mess, and I don't know how to fix it. I'm always a girl with goalposts in mind, but this time it feels like the goal is unattainable. I drive at a breakneck pace to get home, because I know Winona is waiting for me. I'm worried about my sister, but I keep thinking about Boone. I'm so conflicted, and then I feel worse because I know my focus should be my little sister. I know Winona should be first and foremost in my mind, but I keep thinking about Boone and his kisses. Boone telling me he loves me. Boone walking away because I won't share my secrets with him. It's like a punch in the gut. When I pull up to the trailer, Winona's sitting on the steps, a few pieces of paper in her hand. It's late and dark out, and moths flit around the porch light. She straightens as I arrive, but doesn't get up. "Why are you outside?" I ask, getting out of the car and hurrying forward. "The mosquitoes are going to eat you alive." The look on her face is hard, and she holds one of the papers out to me. Her cheeks are blotchy and wet from crying, and her eyes are puffy. She looks miserable. She also looks angry. Puzzled, I take the paper from her, squinting in the dark to read it. Overdue notice. Oh, it's our electric bill from last month. "Where did you get this?" "It was in your room. I found it in your lingerie drawer when I went to get the 20 for the pizza." Her mouth is a hard line. "How was the pizza?" I ask, keeping my tone bright as I fold the paper up and tuck it into my purse like it's no big deal. "I didn't fucking order one, Reba. I found a whole stack of bills in your drawer. They're all overdue." "Not all of them," I say defensively. "I'm paying on all of them. Don't worry about that. It's handled." "It's not handled. Can we even afford my college?" The look on her face is utterly devastated. "What? Of course." "Really? How?" "Don't you worry about that," I tell her. "Let's go inside, all right? We can talk about it there. I don't want you to get bitten." "I don't give a fuck about the mosquitoes," Winona says angrily, launching to her feet. "How could you not tell me that we're broke? How can you let me sit here and talk about school when we can't even keep the lights on?" "It's just until I sell the next house." "That's what you always say. How many have you sold in the last month?" I'm silent because I've sold none. It's late summer, which should be a decent time frame, but the Jacks slide all the clients out from under me and pass me only the ones they feel aren't worth their effort, and they're usually not. I have more clients fall through in financing than anyone else at the office. I'm working all the time, and yet the pay doesn't show it. Everyone keeps telling me that things are going to improve, but so far I'm still selling plasma for groceries. "That's what I thought," Winona says bitterly. "Why won't you let me help? I can get a job." "And what? Flip burgers all through your college years? Worry about money like I did? Worry all the good, fun years of your life away?" I snatched the stack of bills out of her hand, feeling exposed and miserable. I want you to have everything I didn't, Winona, and if that means I'm working twice as hard, then that's what I'm doing. But it's not working, Winona says as I stomp past her into the trailer. We can't keep the fucking lights on. Something inside me snaps. The lights are on, I yell at her. I've had enough. No matter how hard I work, it's not enough for someone. Are you hungry? Are you driving a car? Are you going to college? Then stop fucking complaining. I have given up everything, and I mean everything for you. The least you can do is not throw it into my face. She goes pale, staring at me with big, wounded eyes. Immediately, I feel remorse and a stab of resentment. Here I am, the jerk in the situation. Why am I always the one doing wrong? Why is it that no matter how hard I try, I'm still not doing enough? Look, I say slowly, putting a hand on the chipped countertop to brace myself. I love you, Winona. I want you to have all the things I didn't. I don't want you to work while you go to college because I want you to concentrate on your classes and I want you to have fun. I've got a big client lined up close on a house this month. Well, maybe, if Boone ever wants to speak to me again. And until then, things will just be a little tight. I'll manage. We always do. Okay? So that's it? You've got it handled, right? Her laughter is bitter. Heaven forbid I try to help out. Heaven forbid I worry about my sister. You do know you're the only person I have left, right? That I need you too? So fucking excuse me if I worry about you or whether or not we can make the bills. Excuse me for trying to ask questions. I should have guessed that you wouldn't want that. What do you mean, I wouldn't want that? Winona gives me a hard look. You never want anyone's help, Reba. Oh, excuse me, Ivy. Her voice is scathing. You'd rather go down as a martyr than have to ask anyone for help, all because you don't want to seem needy. Well, you know what? Being needy isn't the worst thing in the world. Being alone is. She storms away. Not that you give a shit about that, because you don't want anyone. Her bedroom door slams shut behind her, and I stare at the grainy wood. Slowly, I collapse into a chair. Is she right? Am I pushing away everyone because I'm terrified of needing someone and having them leave me? Is that why I'm such a control freak about money and work? If so, how do I change? Or is it too late?